You guys, this is the reason why I never wore big dresses to school. Let me set the scene for you. 4th grade Joe, 9 years old, super perky and happy to be wearing a giant dress to school. You know, I don't know why I was. Maybe we had just gotten it. I was super excited about it. It was like a Wednesday. I was probably like, Mom, I want to wear this dress. And since I was mainly tomboyish my entire life, she was probably like, yes, wear it. So I took it to school. So I took it to school. It made playtime a little complicated, but that's fine. Recess was fine. I was one of those kids who liked to roll around in the dirt, climb trees, all that jazz. And I'm like, it's just a dress, it'll be fine. So it's time for like nutrition class. I don't know, they're trying to teach us about like pyramids and like food groups. My teacher starts looking at me funny. And then she kind of just says to the entire class, Josadak? And I'm like, is it Josadak? Can you come with me outside for a second? I'm like, yeah, sure. 4th grade me just comes with her outside. And when we're outside, she closes the door. And I'm like, huh. She slowly takes off her shoe. I was like, oh, look for part 2. Okay, part 2. I honestly didn't expect to make 2 parts out of this. So my teacher was looking at me like so intensely while she was taking off her shoe. And I was so confused. Miss whatever your name is, because I don't remember. What are you doing? And she goes, don't move. And I start panicking. But I do what she says. Like, she gets her shoe, she holds it up to here. And then she throws it at me. And I literally jumped. She hit me in the bottom half of my dress. The shoe went flying. You know what else went flying? Right next to her shoe was the giantest spider I have ever seen in my life. I think it was a tarantula, which would have been fine because tarantulas are pretty much harmless. But at the time, both her and I were freaking out. She literally knocked the spider out. Her aim was so good. I'm actually amazed right now. She's like, oh my God, I saw that on your dress when you came in and I had to get it off. I was like, thank you. Yeah, I had no idea that was on there. So I retired that dress. No more dresses to school, not for Joe. Thanks for watching, Joe Demo.
Story time! So yesterday my friends and I all went to the fair and there were 6 of us in total. And none of us wanted to have to worry about driving there and parking, so we just Ubered instead. So we left the fair around 11:15 and we walked to a nearby shopping center where their Uber picked us up about 10 minutes late. We ended up leaving at 11:30. We get in the Uber, the man says hello, and we head home the normal way. Everything's fine. And my parents don't like when I Uber, so they were tracking me on Life 360 from the moment I got in the car. After about 10 minutes in, I get a text from my mom, and it said, "Where are you?" I look up from my phone and I realize I have no idea where we are, and Ubers know their directions, they know how to take you home. We were 20 minutes out of the way. So I'm terrified. My mom's texting me nonstop, literally about to call the police. I'm gonna run out of time, but posting part 2 today. Okay, back to the Uber story. Our parents are freaking out, we're texting each other in our group chat so he doesn't hear us. Also, while this was all happening, he wasn't talking to us, but he had an earbud in, and he was talking to someone on the phone really quietly. It was super creepy. My mom starts calling me again, and he hears the ring. And one of my friends pulled up on her phone the directions to get home, which he also heard, so he knew that we thought something was off. After a little while longer, we finally know where we are, so we feel a little bit better. We were getting really close to the turn that goes into my friend's neighborhood, and we were thinking, if he doesn't make this turn, we're screwed. Thank goodness he makes a turn, and we're back at my friend's house. But the scary thing is what if he was planning something, but since our phones were ringing and we had the GPS up, that he changed his mind? Because we were not going home. I still can't stop thinking about it. This is the one time Life 360 has come in handy. We're all safe now.
Something so disgusting happened to me and my cheer team. Story time. So on my last year of cheer, I thought it was going to be amazing. But was I so wrong? See, the cheer team last year was just so much better. So it gave me high expectations. And no, I don't mean the athletes. I meant the coaching was so much better. We had a cheer coach, a tumbling coach, and a workout instructor the previous year of cheer. But on my last year of cheer, the cheer coach decided to dip. And so our tumbling coach decided to be our regular coach that year. And that's when everything went downhill. For the sake of this video, I'm going to refer to this gross man as Dirty Dan. Because he was a dirty motherfucker. First things first, he had some dirty ass teeth. Shit was rotten as hell, black and green. He had hot ass breath. Don't even get me started about this man's BO. It should be illegal to smell like that. On top of it, he was always sweating. Always. And that's not even the worst part. When Dirty Dan used to help us tumble, his peen used to go up, 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 uppity. Something so disgusting happened to me and my cheer team. Story time. Part 2. So in the last part, I told you guys how my tumbling coach became our cheer coach, aka Dirty Dan. There was so much wrong with Dirty Dan. First off, his breath was hotter than the month of July. His teeth were so rotten they was turning green. And this fool was always sweating. He was really looking like he just ran a 5K. But the worst part is that his eggplant would go up, 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 uppity every single time he helped us tumble. Mind you, we're 16 years old at this time. Chair, but make it electric. Bars, but with him behind it. Anyways, we told our principal about this. I literally wrote a 2-page essay to my principal about his boners. And I wasn't the only one. But you know what our principal said to us after we told her? She literally told us, I don't want to talk about this because it makes me uncomfortable. Like, bitch, how do you think we feel? Anyways, that year ended really badly and half the cheer team quit. He belongs to the streets and behind bars.
I don't usually take this app seriously, but what just happened to me was amazing. Obviously, none of you know this, but I've been homeless for quite some time now, and I've been staying with random people. It's been extremely detrimental to my mental health, as you can guess. But anyways, I was bumming around downtown, rich people territory. I was bumming around downtown with my friend Sarah, and I stumbled across a piano outside of one of the fanciest restaurants there. And I was like, yo, I love playing piano. So we popped in and asked if I could play it, and they were all like, sure. And so I sat down in the seat, started playing, and whatnot. And then a few minutes later, a guy starts videoing me. Then he goes back into the restaurant, and I was like, well, okay, whatever. A little bit later, another guy comes out, sits right next to the piano, so I was like, okay, maybe they want us to leave. So I got up to leave, and the guy was like, do you want some breakfast? And me and Sarah were like, we are just way too poor to be here, so no, thank you. And he was like, no, I own the restaurant, and I want to give you breakfast. And we were like, okay. I sit down, and he offers me a job to play piano outside of the fanciest restaurant in downtown 3 times a week. And
guys, so I'm like walking through this neighborhood and I'm trying to get some fresh air, and then this old dude waves at me, and he was wearing Balenciaga, so I didn't think he was gonna be weird. So I literally take my AirPods out and I say hi to him, and then he's looking at me up and down, and he's like, boy, you're cute. I like your boots, they look super thick. And I look at him, I'm like, yeah, they're solid. And I try to walk away, and he's like, no, come back. So I turn around and I'm like, what's up? And he's like, I need to ask you for a favor. And I said, depends what it is. So then he's like, how would you like to make some money? And I said, no, sir. And try to walk away, and he's like, no, it's gonna be super quick, super simple. All you have to do is kick me in the groin. And I look at him and say, no way, sir, you're gonna press charges on me. And he's like, no, I'll pay you. And I said, how much? And he said $50. And I said, no, sir, I'm sorry, $50 ain't worth it. And then he looks at me and he says, fine. And y'all, this man gave me $100 to kick him in the...
I'm gonna tell you guys the story of how I was kicked out of my Spanish class on the first week of school. Okay, so I don't know if all schools do this, but in my school you had to take a foreign language class to graduate. And me, being the fluent Spanish speaker that I already am, decided to take Spanish. Not because it was easy, although that was part of it. I was already taking AP, ACE, and honors in all of my other classes. So I honestly just wanted a super easy class that I didn't have to think about. No stress. And I could get that requirement out of the way. So picture this. It's the first day of school, I walk into class. Fate would have it that my very best friend from 8th grade was also in this class. When I saw her, we immediately started freaking out. Shout out to Emery. And she was so happy that I was gonna be helping her with her Spanish work and everything else. My Spanish teacher wasn't too happy about that. In fact, she asked me and 2 other girls who looked like me what we were doing there. And I honestly didn't know how to answer. I was kind of like, class, Spanish requirement, class. She said this would be way too easy for me. And you know what? She was right. Imagine trying to learn hello and how are you in a language you already know. But that was the point. I came in on Friday again, the first week of school, and she had a surprise for us. Look, this is part 2 on how I was kicked out of my Spanish class. And it was only the first week of school. So it was Friday and I walked in. I expected to hang out with my friend and learn how to say bien y tú. But instead, my teacher took me and 2 other students, separated us from the rest of the class, and made us take a Spanish 2 final exam. It was the first week of school! How dare she? My friend was like, oh my god, please fail it, please fail it, please fail it. The point of the test, I guess, was to prove that we knew Spanish and we didn't belong in our class. But I'm an overachiever! Guys, I don't fail tests. Do you remember the part about me taking AP, ACE, and honors classes? I don't take those classes because I fail tests. I took the test. It wasn't my best work. I definitely could have done better, but I ended up with a B. My teacher was like, just as I suspected. She handed me a hall pass and said, go to the guidance counselor. You need to switch out of this class. And I was like, ah! As I grabbed my backpack and slowly walked away as everybody else worked on their hellos, I got to look at my friend and kindly wave. Then I went down to the guidance counselor, who said practically every other class was full. They ended up having to put me in culinary, which is specifically for sophomore. I was a freshman, the youngest person in that class.
I went to this crazy party. Story time. Hold up, before y'all come for me, this was last year, so don't try me with that coronavirus. Don't worry, your girl has been social distancing. So me and my boyfriend went to this party. This bitch was fat as fuck. Keep in mind, it was a 2-story house, and there were hella heads upstairs and downstairs. So everyone's there having a good time, vibing with each other, chilling, not worried about the coronavirus. or hornets or any of the other bad shit that happened this year. So everyone's just chilling. And then all of a sudden, a fight broke loose. And I was just sitting there like, oh, hell no. So me and my boyfriend just went upstairs and we were chilling up there on the balcony specifically. Keep that in mind. So a little bit after that happened, the cops show up. And of course, everyone starts freaking out. Cops, cops, everyone hide. Some people ran, some people hid. But a lot of people went upstairs. Now this is where the story gets interesting. There were hella people upstairs, like too much. Remember how me and my boyfriend were all on the balcony? Well, it started creaking. Making part 2 right now, it gets so crazy. I went to this crazy party. Story time. Part 2. So I told y'all this party was fat as fuck. Everybody was having a good time. We were all chilling and vibing until someone had to start a fight. Then I said, oh hell nah, and dipped my ass upstairs. A little bit after the fight, cops showed up. And obviously people freaked out and they're like, oh my god, cops. Then hella people decided to go upstairs. So me and my boyfriend were just chilling on the balcony. And then there were obviously other people there too. And then all of a sudden, it starts making this creaky noise. I didn't think much of it, but my boyfriend got freaked out. And he was like, honestly, I have a weird feeling like, let's just go back inside. So I was like, all right, bet, let's go inside. We go inside, and not even 5 minutes later, the balcony collapses. It collapses. This bitch really said, poof. After that, I was like, oh, hell no, I'm leaving this bitch. So me and my boyfriend leave the party. As we're walking, all you see is red and blue light. And the kid that threw the party was screaming, oh my god, I'm gonna go to jail. Which he didn't. Supposedly no one got hurt, but there was a rumor that a girl broke her leg, so who knows?
I was 11 years old when my mom kicked me out of the house for the first time. It was a school day! The sun wasn't even out! So you know what I did?